r/AskReddit. Gamers of Reddit, what is your "this dude forgot to turn off his mic" moment? A group of 5 of us had been doing several runs in World of Warcraft and had been chatting it up the whole time about whatever. One woman's boyfriend came into her room and asked her if when she was done, if she could look under his balls. He had a bump and didn't know if it was a pimple or a boil. He was talking about how much it hurt and itched, and he tried using a mirror but couldn't get the angle right. She let him go on for about 2 to 3 minutes as we were all busting up laughing before she finally told him her mic was on. This was like last month on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Guy was on the phone with his bank accountant, probably, and he was saying his credit card info, social security, and a bunch of private info. Hopefully he's still safe. Here we go, I have a story for this one. So me and my friend, let's call him Ben, had a goal a while back to complete every achievement in Minecraft on the Xbox One. We put nearly 300 hours into the world, and whenever we would play, his girlfriend would always go on her phone to help pass the time. This one particular evening we were building my house, well, more of a tower, and he starts placing random blocks in places they weren't supposed to be. I asked if he was okay, and he said that he was fine and carried on building. As time went on, his breathing got progressively heavier until about 5 minutes later I asked him if his girl was going down on him. What I didn't know is that he was in fact getting head, and he was getting close to finishing until his girlfriend heard me over the mic and started laughing and ruined the moment. I'm sorry, Ben, but it's a lesson learned not to multitask. Obviously Minecraft is more important. Older sister was telling his little brother, our teammate, that is her time to play and she will turn off the console if he doesn't get up. He insists, just this one match, please. No, oh, and disconnected. Lol. So basically me and 3 other dudes on Discord. One was living with his parents and grandparents. His grandpa barges into his room and after mumbling something he yelled, "Pull down your pants." Dude was just wearing some dirty pants, but we fully misunderstood the situation. Not bad, but memorable. I get to my buddy's house and he is playing Call of Duty. Has his headset on. This house is a work in progress, so every time I get there, something has changed. I walk into his gaming room and see he has made some modifications to the house and ask him about it. He proceeds to give me a lesson on construction fundamental / building technique / and the why. After about 5 or so minutes he realizes he was mic'd the whole time and he goes, "Oh she." Someone chimes in, "Hey, so that was actually really interesting and all, but can you shut the duck up?" I don't think we ever laughed as hard. Caught my friend jacking off on mic thinking he muted himself. I heard him groaning, so then I shouted, "No coming in my party." Years ago, Halo 3, my cat was being unusually affectionate and cuddly. I killed a guy in multiplayer and was distracted by the cat. I start asking who has a fuzzy belly, who is my fuzzy girl, and it turned out the guy I killed could still hear my voice and he was having none of it. I wish I still has the XBL message he sent. He seemed really insecure about his fuzzy belly. I was playing Rainbow Six Vegas a whole while back. Got myself a few friends in and also had a couple of stragglers. We were pretty decent as a team. We'd not lost for a few days, although playtime had only been a few hours due to work. Anyway, these stragglers who joined got added to our chat. Talked strategy with them, they seemed alright. 2 brothers from Georgia. We start playing and we're abseiling down the roof, running through casinos and everything is going well. Our squad are racking up kills, but one of the stragglers keeps dying. His brother is complaining. Guy who keeps dying grabs the briefcase and runs. We are calling to get him to come to the lift shafts, but he ignored us, runs straight to the windows, and gets taken out. Drops the case in a room packed with enemies. We can't get it in time, we lose. The useful brother starts complaining and muttering under his breath, then talks louder, like we couldn't hear him before, and says sorry about his brother's mistake. We'll win now. We switch to defense. The useless brother runs straight out of the vault, despite telling him to wait at the back stairs, goes and gets killed. His brother is mumbling again, clearly agitated. Now, the useful brother is defending the case. Anyone who gets past the 3 main defense points, he is picking them off and doing great. Case never leaves a sight. Despite the back stairs not being covered, useless brother sees someone in the case room. Decides to throw a flashbang. We all get blinded. Look around. Case is gone. As we are going chasing after it, the useless bro apologizes. His brother says whatever, and in his mumble voice he seemingly thinks no one can hear says, "This is the exact crap that made me shit in your gym bag." The character of the useless bro stops dead in front of me as we are chasing the enemy. Then there's a loud noise on the other brother's mic, followed by what sounded like the biggest bitch slap, open palm strike whatever I've ever heard. Useful brother's character suddenly stops too. Me and my squad are laughing, wondering what's going on, as we lose the game, and on the mics we can just hear one of the brothers crying, and then a mom shouting in the distance. Back in the Halo 2 days, a teen was getting yelled at to get off the game. He called his mom a bitch and she responded with an ass whooping that sounded like a hyena getting mauled by 50 cats in a plywood box. The teen's kid brother got on during the beatdown saying, "Hell yeah, he never lets me play." Little man was actually pretty good from what I remembered too. Yelled at his new wife while she was asking for help with groceries and their 3-month son. We chose not to hang out with him after that. Chillin' in a squad when someone doesn't have push to talk on and they start yelling at their family and occasionally letting out a giant scream from dying. Was playing on a CSGO server. This squeaker comes in the server acting all tough, trash talking, mocking other people, etc. Now it's about 11 at night now, and we hear this kid saying, "But mommy, I don't wanna go to sleep, I wanna play." We all started laughing our asses off and he disconnected. Years ago, I was playing Gears of War on XBL and this kid joined my game. From the sound of his voice, he couldn't have been older than 12 or 13, but he was talking trash the whole time. You know, the usual stuff. You suck, you're gay, duck your mom, etc. Apparently his mom walked in while he was in the middle of throwing yet another of his dumb insults at me, and his mic was on. She came in and was like, "What? What are you saying? Is that how I raised you?" Slap sound. Ha ha. You talking like that? Answer me. Did I raise you like that? More slaps and he's crying and saying, "Mama, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Mama, please. Let me finish my game." And she's like, "Oh hell no. You're not finishing nothing." And then he's dropped out of the game. It's not necessarily him forgetting to turn off his mic, but him not being able to. It's been several years, and it could have just been a hoax, but it certainly shook me up. I believe it was around the time of Halo 3. I had been on Xbox Live fooling around in Map Maker with some buddies. One of them had been dealing with a rough home life, and often talked about his fear that his parents were into some trouble with people being kids. Me and the other guy brushed it aside as just nonsense, but one day we are playing, and we hear a loud bang from his mic. He is yelling for his mom, and then there are multiple loud bangs in quick succession. Almost like someone had been shooting a gun on full auto. We hadn't heard him over the gunfire sounds, but when they stopped his tone of voice changed, and it sounded more like a sobbing yelling for his mom. My buddy and I were in shock now, trying to find out WTF just happened. We could hear sobbing, and he wasn't returning to the game, and after about 10 or 15 minutes of no contact from him, he just disconnected, and we had never heard from him since then. Just today I was playing Modern Warfare and this guy on my team had his mic open. His phone rang in the background and he picked up to his wife talking about how he needs to get off his ass and go to the store. He led with profanities and ended with a "fine bitch" and went back to playing. I said into game chat, "So are you gonna go to the store?" Unfazed he said no. Basically my friend always keeps his mic on, and this one time I heard his parents arguing in the background and he literally screamed "Yates Christmases," and then there was silence. I was that dude once. Nothing scandalous, just embarrassing. You know how sometimes couples will be all sugary sweet, love-a-dove to each other when they are alone, in a way that they'd probably not do in front of other people because it's so cringy. Don't pretend you don't know what I'm talking about, people in relationships. Anyway, I had my headset on and was being a typical idiot with my friends. My then partner was nearby, so I took off the headset, forgot to mute the mic, and commenced the instant transformation into this over-the-top cute as he loved kitten. You can imagine how much I wanted to crawl under a rock and die a few minutes later. That was like 12 years ago. I was extra careful about the mic from then on. Was playing a game after a few beers once, and I was that dude. Me and the ex were talking shit around the house. We were weird. We broke up after she grew up and I didn't. Like really weird. We'd make weird noises around the house in a sort of ritual. Seagull noises, cat noises, paw, imitations of guns going off, etc. Here's what my group would have heard. First her making a cat noise. She had a really realistic meow. Then me gotta go help my partner with something, followed by me trying and failing for some reason to drop group. Then her meowing getting more insistent. Then me making the shotgun sound. Then her abruptly turning the meow into a gurgle. Then a perfectly normal conversation about food except for a couple weird words thrown in. Then I heard snickering from the PC. Basically this guy during my game was saying we needed to finish it quick. His girlfriend was coming over. This was during a ranked game, so the guy didn't want to leave. It ended up being a pretty hard match. It was Dota, so it ended up being 1 hour 20 minutes long. He started to flame everyone on mic because his girlfriend was almost here and we needed to end the match. Then we hear him apologize to his girlfriend because he can't leave, and then she says it's alright. She wants to see how focused he can stay. Thank God for the ability to mute people, otherwise we would have heard him getting his D sucked for 20 minutes. He didn't stay focused on the game and we lost. It was a video call on Zoom, but one dude literally turned his camera on, picked his nose, ate it, and then turned his camera back off. Repeatedly. He turned his camera on and off repeatedly too, and he completely looked like it was just some subconscious thing. I wasn't playing or watching the live stream, but during an iRacing event, NASCAR driver Kyle Larson did not realize his mic was on for the entire group, and therefore was being broadcasted via Twitch. Said, "Can anybody hear me? Hey N-word." Very next day he lost his real life NASCAR sponsors and his real life ride. I played a game with a guy whose kids were playing in the background. He kept telling them to relax, keep it down, and whatever more and more aggressively. At some point, it all just goes off, and you could just hear how he slapped the shit out of at least one of the kids. Kids crying and screaming, tumbling sounds, dude yelling off the top of his lungs, skin getting slapped. Everything in game just stopped, and the rest of the team were just in shock. My friend says let's back out, and we do. I wanted to hurt this man so bad. Kid on PC arguing with his mom because he didn't want dinner. I was so hungry, and his mom sounded sweet. I have 2 stories. I've been waiting for this thread forever. First story, I was playing Black Desert Online with a group of my friends. 2 of those friends are married. We'll call them Barbie and Barbie. Barbie goes to the kitchen to make food while muting her mic. Meanwhile, Barbie tells us be right back guys and runs off to the kitchen. As we just finished grinding, I parked my horse in Velia and we all started hearing moans coming from B's end of the mic. Turns out, Barbie and Barbie were having sex in the kitchen and Barbie's headset unmuted his Discord somehow. When Barbie got back, we were all trying so hard not to laugh, and Barbie comes back like, "Babe, did you ducking? Forget to mute your mic." They immediately left the call, and we burst out laughing. They didn't join back for 3 days. Second story, my friend from school, who we'll call G, has a little bit of a temper problem and rages like every other game. One day, as we are playing League with the boys, G's girlfriend comes into his room and we immediately hear top tier ear rape coming from the other end like, "Shut the duck up you cunt, all you do is spend my goddamn money, I'm so sick and tired of this shit, you stupid, insert the N-word, harda, you know I'm broke, right?" You could hear his girlfriend crying from the other end of the mic, and the next thing he says is, "Sorry guys, what did I miss?" The saddest part of this story is that G and his girlfriend still together. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.